Hello, everybody. Welcome. So, this is a yoga body care class, and we are going to start down on the floor. My name is Wendy, and you want to make sure you've got whatever props you feel will be supported, right? So, you can have cushions. You definitely want to have a yoga strap or a belt or a neck scarf or something that can act as a yoga strap. We'll be working with a prop like a block. If you have something like that available, or a small ball. And we will also be working with a chair back today. So it can be a small table that you can move over here. We're just going to be anchoring ourselves on that once we get up to our feet. So if you need to pause the video and go get those items, do, right? And then come on back and meet us down on the floor. Yeah. All right, everybody. So come on down. Come on down. And bring yourself into whatever easy movement feels good to you as you're getting yourself settled down in there, right? So maybe you do need to do a little movement through the back, right? Whatever you're going to do, and whatever we're doing in class, whether we're on the floor or on our feet, we want to make sure we've got this abdominal core engaged. So important. So once you get down there on that back, just find a little bit of easy movement. I'm going to kind of keep my eyes on the waiting room here to see if anybody else ventures into class. So just take a couple of moments and let yourself come on into easy movement through the body. And, I don't know what that is for you. So let yourself explore that. Yeah, explore that a bit. But what I will say is let that include movement through the feet, the ankles, the toes, the hands, the fingers, the wrists. These are areas that get forgotten oftentimes in movement classes. We don't want to forget those areas. And then once you've come into some free-form little gooey movement for the joints, we're going to go ahead and we're going to find some length in that body. So if your lower back is fine with extending both legs, you can extend one at a time along the floor. Extend both. And I realize for some people, sometimes that can be a little uncomfortable for the lower back. So if it is, then you can extend one leg and have one foot on the floor and then give it a switch up. We just want to come into a couple breaths where we're finding length in the body. So find where that works for you. And then we're going to open up this space between our shoulder blades. So go ahead and reach both arms above the chest. And then we're just going to do a little walk through our shoulder blades. So we're going to reach, doesn't matter what arm you start with, reach that arm a little higher. And you'll feel that shoulder blade, that scapula, come up off the floor. And then just give a little walk, side to side. And each time you do that, you're going to find more spaciousness between the scapula. Now, it's important that at the same time, you're maintaining length behind your neck. So you want to give that chin just a bit of a micro drop. And you want to be conservative with that because we can drop it so much that we close off the front of our neck. So you don't want to do that. All right, everybody. So once you get a sense of that spaciousness in the shoulder blades, take an inhale. If you haven't switched your legs up yet, if you've got one leg length, then switch them up. With your exhale, just give a gentle opening to the side. Excuse me. And let's do that again, everybody. We're going to give an inhale, easy reach up. And you can either open to the side again or take a gentle drop behind the body if that feels okay with those shoulders. Watch that neck. Now we're going to inhale, come up over the top. Let's open to the side again. Take that exhale. And let's inhale, come up over the top. Now either open side again or you're going to drop behind you with that exhale. Maintain that length behind your neck. Now inhale, come up over the top, and let's take our right arm, everybody, and gently pull that across the chest. You can take that left arm and give it a gentle tug. And then we're going to inhale, just soften up on that. We're going to switch sides. Other arm, give it a gentle tug across the chest. And let's do that again, each side. That just feels so yummy. Let's do it again. Give that easy reach with your inhale. And give that right arm a tug with the exhale. That scapula can come up off the floor. And then when we release it, it gently rests back down. Take your inhale and your reach. Come on into that easy tug across the chest. Now come on up into your inhale and your reach. And let's exhale, lower those arms down beside the hips. Palms turn down. Give your hands a little bit of breadth, so a little wide splay without creating tension there. Now one at a time, we're going to bend our knees. Put your feet on the floor, and we're going to take those feet a little wider than hips. Not real wide, but a little wider. And take an inhale right here. Recheck that neck. And with your exhale, let both knees fall into the center, in toward one another. That's opening the space in your lower back, your hips, the shelf of your hips. Now we're going to inhale, bring those knees back, straight up, and we're going to do that same action. Exhale, let those knees gently fall into the center. We're going to do that one more time. Let's inhale, open. So this is very subtle. You're not going to feel an earth-shattering opening of that tissue. And come on in with that exhale. And if you can keep them there, keep them there. If it's comfortable letting them rest knee to knee, let that happen. And then from here, we're going to take, it doesn't matter what hip, just lift that hip up toward its same side of the rib cage. And then just give a little walk through your hips. It's almost like you're just doing a little pivot on your sacrum, if that feels okay. If that's uncomfortable for you, if the surface you're on is uncomfortable for that, you can slip something very light underneath there. Maybe you've got a yoga towel. If you don't have that available, don't worry about it. Just don't take that gentle hip pivot, right? So we're just pivoting side to side with that pelvis. It's not a lift up toward the ceiling. It's a lift up toward the rib cage. Maybe do one more side to side. And then come back to where it feels like you're in a neutral position. Now we're going to bring those knees back up. Inhale, bring the arms up over the top. And then open them to the side. Let your palms face up. Let your arms rest on the floor. Let your knees do a gentle drop side to side. Probably not your full range of motion yet, yeah? Gentle drop side to side. We're taking an internal rotation on one hip and an external rotation on the other hip. Breath is easy. We're not going to hold this just yet. We're just getting that pelvis, the capsule, the hip capsule, nice and warm. All right, everybody. We're going to come back to the center, and we're going to bring those feet in line with the hips. So walk them in a bit. And let's pull that right knee in toward the chest and just give it an easy tug. Now, for my body, and you might find this for you as well, you can keep the knee right in front of that shoulder or right in front of the chest and pull it in. And if I try and pull to my full range of motion, I feel a little restriction in my hip socket. So if I open that knee, just a micro rotation, it gives me more room. It moves the bone in there, and I can actually pull up a little higher. So you might find that, you might not. Now that's a little different than taking a full external rotation. That's not quite what it is, yeah? All right, everybody, we're gonna put that foot down, other side. So pull it up and see where you get your fullest, most comfortable range of motion. So I can only go so far if I keep it in line with my chest. But if I give it just a micro external pull, I can actually get a little more range, and I get more tissue opening in my hips and my lower back. See, that's what we're opening here, yeah? All right, everybody, put that second side down. Pull that first side up and take a hold of that shin with the same hand, so right hand to right shin or hamstring. If it's uncomfortable to grab your shin, put your left hand on your left thigh. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, let's externally rotate both legs so both knees fall open. We're not rolling the pelvis. We're just opening, taking an external rotation. Now let's inhale, come back in. We're going to do that again, same side. Exhale. So that bottom foot just easily rolls to the outside of the foot. Recheck the back of that neck, everybody. Inhale, come back to the center. We're going to do that one more time. Exhale, take that external rotation. Now we're going to stay here and take a breath. In breath, out breath. Can you soften your shoulders? Maybe you put your elbows on the floor. Yeah. And with our next in-breath, come back to the center and let's switch up those legs. Put that right foot down. Pick up that left leg. You're either going to hold hamstring or shin, right hand to right thigh. Take an easy in-breath. And with your exhale, gentle rotation. We're not forcing anything. Let's inhale, come back up in the center. All week long, I've been playing with the idea of luxuriousness with timing. Yeah? Let's take that rotation again. So how luxurious can you make your timing? And you know what that means. Come back up to the center. That means luxuriousness in our movement. How about that idea? So let's take that rotation. Stay there for a breath. Maybe you let your elbows rest on the floor. All right, everybody, come back up to center, and we're going to put that foot down. Now, we're going to start working with a little bit of a pelvic lift, and it can be a literal lift or just the idea of one, and we're going to talk about that as we go through it. Now, it's nice. It's not necessary, but it can be helpful to have a stabilizer for your pelvis. So like your yoga block, or a small ball or a small cushion, right, to go between your inner thighs. Not your knees, but between your inner thighs. So we're going to walk the feet back a little closer to the hips, so heels a little closer to the hips, and then feet a little closer together, particularly if you're going to be using something as a stabilizer. So you're going to get that set up in there, place it where it's comfortable, and then we're going to place those hands down beside the hips again with some breath. Open those fingers. Again, not creating tension. Palms are down. And then try and open that scapular space again. Maybe give a little shoulder blade walk here. Re-lengthen the back of your neck. Now we're just going to play a bit with rocking the pelvis. We're not going to be lifting yet. So take an inhale. Billow your belly, and you will feel it'll naturally happen. That low back will just sort of come away from the floor. That's that natural lumbar curve. And then with our exhale, pull your belly back, and you're going to feel a little bit more flushing of that lower back toward the floor, right? Coming flush to the floor. Inhale. So play with this where it's comfortable for you. And let's not take it where it's not comfortable. And take that gentle abdominal pull. Same time, those inner thighs are taking their easy engagement, keeping that pelvis stable. Now, we're going to come into a push into the heels on the exhale. We're not lifting the pelvis yet. We're just going to give a slight push into the heels. That's going to activate the muscles in the pelvic girdle a little bit more. Muscles and tops of the legs, yeah. Again, these are stabilizers. Toes are soft and long. No need to clench up the toes. And that reminds me, no need to clench up the jaw. How about we let those areas go? Now, the next time that you push into those heels, if it's comfortable to take a bit of a rise of that pelvis, you can do that. Give a little rise there. And then we're going to let it gently rest right back down. You can find your own timing here. What I will say is stay in keeping with that idea of luxuriousness, with timing, with breath, with movement. Now let's do that maybe 2 more times, and then we're going to hold that press, whether the pelvis is off the floor or not. We're going to hold that press. So take 1 more, and the next time you take that press into your heels, stay there. Now, some of you will be getting a pretty good rise. We don't want to rise so high that we come to the back of the neck, but maybe middle or upper back where it feels okay. Now let's all inhale, bring the arms up over the body, and take that easy opening. Exhale, just like we did earlier. Now inhale, come up over the body, and you're either going to open side again, or you're going to take the arms behind. Watch that you don't contract the back of that neck. Now inhale, come back up over the top. The arms are going to come down again alongside the legs, and when they meet the legs, the pelvis follows, everything lowers. Take your inhale, billow that belly. With your exhale, pull that belly back, push the heels into the floor. Maybe you're going to get a bit of a rise, maybe not. Maybe you get a little bit of a bigger rise, yeah? Let's inhale, arms come up. Open with your exhale. Where do you feel the luxuriousness, everybody? Inhale, come back up, and either open again to the side or come behind the body. Watch that neck. Inhale, come up over the top, and when the arms meet the legs, everything comes back down. We're going to do this 1 more time. Inhale, billow the belly. Exhale, give that gentle pull back. That gentle push into the floor. Maybe you're coming into your rise. And we're going to bring the arms up. Here's that in-breath. Let's open. Keep that space between the scapula if you can. And we inhale, come back up. And either repeat that or take the arms behind. How's that neck and jaw? How are the toes? Inhale, come back up over the top. And we're going to lower down when the arms meet the legs. And find that gentle rock again right here. Keep the pelvis on the floor. Billow with the in-breath. Gentle pull back with the out-breath. While you're taking that gentle rock, if you've got something between those adductors, inner thighs, take it away. All right, everybody. We're going to inhale, bring those arms up again. Exhale, open to the side. Walk those feet open. Now, those of you that need a little support, we're going to be dropping our knees to one side. If you need a little support, have a cushion on one side. If you have 2 cushions, have 2 cushions, one on either side of the body. Now, we're going to take an in-breath. And with our exhale, drop your knees to one side. Doesn't matter what side. Maybe that outside leg is going to rest on a cushion. And once you get to that, your full drop, maybe you can look away from your knees. I'm going to bring myself up to the screen because we've got a body in the waiting room. All right, everybody. So make sure that you're in a rotation that works for you. This is a nice opportunity for me to take a drink of water. All right, everybody. So let's get our guest in from the waiting room here. And just stay there and breathe as long as you can. Gently holding that rotation. You know to come up out of a posture. If you need to come up out of it, protect yourselves. It's not a contest to see how long we can hold something. All right, everybody. Now we're going to re-engage that lower belly. Let's come back up through the center. Here's the in-breath. And with that exhale, drop those knees over to the other side. Maybe you've got a cushion over there, right? So we've got one internal rotation, one external rotation. And then give that head a gentle look away, only if that works for your body. If that's uncomfortable, don't struggle through it. That's not what it's about, right? Can you take some of those easy, luxurious breaths? All right, everybody. Now we're going to re-engage that belly. Come back up through the center. And once you get there, we're going to walk those knees back in line with the hips. Let's inhale, bring those arms back up over the top. And with that exhale, pull that right knee in again and give it a tug. Maybe you're going to open to the side a little bit to get a little more range in that hip capsule. And then put that foot down. Second side, pull it on up there. Maybe you're going to give it a little opening, maybe not. Maybe your hips are structured in a way that you don't need to do that, right? Put that foot down. Now we're going to pick that right leg up again. Hold behind the hamstring this time with both hands if you can. And then give an extension through that knee and find some movement through your ankle and your foot. Whatever that is. Maybe you're circling. Maybe you're coming into dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, right? Dorsiflexion is pulling back. Plantar flexion, we oftentimes call a point. Yeah? All right, everybody. We're going to start working through with some core here. So we're going to plant those hands down alongside the hips, palms turned down again. Maybe you're actually going to snake the thumb side of your hands underneath your hips a little bit. Now we're going to inhale, go ahead and come into our point or plantar flexion. And with the exhale, lower that leg down just to where you feel like your pelvis is still stable. For some of you, it won't be very far. Some of you can come almost all the way down to the floor without rocking your pelvis. We're going to flex that foot. We're going to inhale, come all the way back up. Now, some of you need to bend your knee and then re-extend. Point those toes. We're going to exhale, lower down. Be sensitive to where your range of motion is. It's not going to be mine. It's not going to be our other classmates. It's going to be yours. Flex that foot. Let's inhale, come back up. You might be bending that knee, maybe not. Point. Exhale, come on down, everybody. Keep that belly engaged. If your pelvis is rocking, you're trying to go too far. Flex, come back up. That's our in-breath. Now this next time we go down there, we're going to hold it. So come into that plantar flexion, which is our point. Bring it down. Maybe you're just matching leg to leg. Maybe you're going lower. Now you can stay there and breathe. If you need to bend your knee, bend your knee. Otherwise, we're all going to come on up with our inhale. You can lift the hands or not. How does that feel for you? And then let's give that walk through the scapula again. Yeah, lift one arm, lift the other arm. And all the while, we've got a nice, easy core engagement going on. All right, everybody, give an in-breath, reach both. With that exhale, either open your arms to the side or bring them behind. And with that next inhale, arms and leg are going to come back up. You might need to bend your knee, maybe not, but flex that foot. Come back up. Now we're going to take it back down. Point your toes. Maybe you're not using arms at all. Maybe arms are opening to the side. Maybe they're going behind you. Behind the head's a little bit more of a load. So keep that in mind. Flex that foot, come back up. Here's the inhale. We're going to do that one more time. Point the foot. Take your exhale. Maybe you need to lower your arms at this point. Where is it good for you? And we're going to come back up, everybody, and let's give that knee a tug. Come on in. Maybe you're going to open it to the side a little bit. And then let's realign in the center, and we're going to put that foot down. Give it a switch up. Pull that other leg up. Maybe give it a little bit of an opening. And then bring it back to the center. Hold that hamstring. Lengthen that knee a bit. Find some movement in that ankle and foot. And this is a good opportunity to recheck the back of your neck. Did you scrunch it up back there? Let's not do that to ourselves. And let's not scrunch up the front of the neck while we lengthen the back of the neck. It's a happy medium in there. It's a Goldilocks thing. It's just right. All right, everybody. We're going to lengthen that leg. Put the hands down alongside the hips. Take an inhale. We're going to point those toes. And with the exhale, lower to where you keep that pelvis stable. It might be a micro lowering. And then we'll flex that foot. Inhale, come back up. So we're getting some nice range of motion through the ankle and foot. Point. Exhale, come down. Where's your range of motion? And keep in mind, your control is your communicator there. Flex, you might need to bend your knee if you feel a hit on that lower back, right? And then re-extend. Exhale, come on down. Where can you stay in that easy control? Not a struggling control. Flex, come right up with that in-breath. We're going to take it down there and stay. I think this is the rep that we're going to hold it on. Come on down. Find where you can maintain your stability, again with ease. It's not a struggling stability. Now let's inhale, bring the arms up. Take a walk through the scapula. All the while, we've got a nice core engagement. If you need to bend that knee a bit, bend that knee. All right, now, you can keep the arms there. You can put them back down alongside the hips, or you can open them to the side on an exhale, or your most challenging option is to bring them behind the body. That makes your lever a little longer here. Now we're going to come on up. So come on up with an inhale. Flex that foot. You might need to bend your knee, leg and arms if you're working with your arms as well. And then point. Come on down, everybody. Make the movement yours. Find where it's beneficial and nutritious. Continue that, not where it's harmful. And junk food. We're not practicing junk food here. All right, everybody, we're going to go down one more time. Come on down. And let's go ahead and come on up. And let's pull that knee in, everybody. And maybe you need to open it a bit, give it a bit of a tug. All right, everybody, I think we're going to make our way onto hands and knees. But if you want to give yourself a little gooey movement, give yourself a little gooey movement like we started. What feels good to your body? Yeah? Many of us have little furry faces. All we have to do is watch them as they wiggle around on the floor. What great inspiration. And then you're going to let this gooey movement bring you on around to your hands and knees. If you need to place a towel or a cushion, underneath your knees, place a towel or a cushion underneath your knees. This is what we call a yoga blanket or a yoga towel. It's pretty thin. What's wonderful about them is they're actually a little rubberized on the backs. Most of them are. So they give you some traction if you need traction. But if you need that, something like that underneath your knees, have it. Yeah. Let me tell you a little trick that saves some discomfort on your knees as well. If you don't have anything like that you're going to be working with, when we're on our hands and knees, our weight is not supposed to be fully in our knees and just our hands, right? We've got our shins and our feet on the floor as well. So whether you're pointed feet or flexed with balls of feet on the floor, you're actually giving a little push into the floor with your feet as well. That takes some of the weight out of your knees. And actually, that engages some of the muscles in your legs and hips too. So let that happen. All right, everybody. So hands and knees, we're not going to be here long. Hands are right under shoulders, knees are right under hips. We've got that belly engaged, yeah? Not so much that it creates a rounding. That can happen, right? It's not a cat stretch. We want to engage enough where we can come to a neutral spine. If we're not engaged, we sway and we accentuate our lumbar curvature, right? We come into what we call accentuated lordosis. We don't want to do that. And we don't want accentuated kyphosis, that middle back. You do want to push into your hands, but you don't want to round that spine. Now let's find a few cow-cats. Let's inhale, push into the hands, and let that initiate a little bit of a chest lift. Remember, it's a chest lift, not a head lift. The chest is going to carry the head. Now we're going to pull that belly back a little bit more now. Now here's our cat stretch. That's that exhale. Inhale, come on up into your cow. Exhale, come on up into that cat. And are you giving a little push into your feet as well? Couple more. Inhale, come on up into that cow. Exhale, pull that belly up, cat. All right, everybody, one more. And come on into your cat. Now this time we're going to sit the hips back. We've done this before in class. Sit the hips back. If you can put your elbows down in line with your body, not open, put them down. If not, don't worry about it. Shift forward and then push into your hands. Pull that belly up. Inhale, come up into cow. Exhale, cat. Sit back. You might be on balls of feet, which is fine. If you can put elbows down, do. We shift forward, push. This is strengthening for the core. Inhale, cow. Couple more. Exhale. And if this movement is just uncomfortable for you, everybody, if you want to sit back into child's pose, you can sit back into child's pose and stay. Shift forward. Come on up. Here's your in-breath. And one more. Exhale, cat. Sit back. Come on forward. And come on up into your cow. And then we're going to come to a neutral spine. Neutral spine. Now we're all going to pull this right knee in. And then take that ball of foot back and put it on the floor. So I'm not mirroring you yet. I'm going to mirror you when we stand up. Now with that ball of foot on the floor, just take an easy movement through that ankle and foot. Yeah. Now, we're going to come on up into a balance option here for those that want to take it. And that can mean just that leg comes off the floor, or that means that leg is going to come off the floor in the opposite arm. So we're going to let your body decide where it's going to want to go here. So come back to your neutral position, shoulders over hands. Now, one thing we want to do is drop the hip of this right leg a little bit. There's a tendency to open it out. Drop that hip a little bit, yeah? Now, you can keep foot on the floor, or you can raise and bring the heel up to hip level. You can keep the foot flexed, or you can point if that feels better for you. What's more stabilizing? Now, if you're going to keep both hands on the floor, you're finding the connection between your head top and your either toes or your heel, right? For those of you that want to come into a bit more challenge, put your mind in your right hand and your left knee, shin, foot, and we're going to reach that left arm. So you pull as much to the front as you do to the back. There's your stabilizing pull, and then you're putting mind in that lower hand and lower leg. That belly's pulled up. The breath is easy. If you're struggling, put it all down, right? Let's not struggle. And as you're ready, we are going to put it down. If you need to sit back in child's pose, do. Otherwise, find a little gooey movement through that back. Maybe sit back a little bit and take your weight out of your wrists, yeah? All right, everybody, we're going to do that on the other side, and then we better bring ourselves up to our feet. All right, come on back. Come on back. If you need to stay in child's pose, stay there. Let's take this left leg back. Flex that foot and find a little movement through that ankle, through that foot. Gentle shift forward and backward. Some good articulation through that foot, yeah? All right, everybody. Now, you may be keeping the ball of the foot on the floor. Bring those shoulders back over your hands. You might be lifting that heel. We're all going to drop that hip, no matter where you are. We're going to drop that hip. Now, you can either stay with that flexed foot, dorsiflexed, or you can plantar flex into a point, yeah? Now, you can keep both hands on the floor, and you're going to keep your mind in your hands, your head top, your back extended leg, and the shin and foot, not just the knee of that lower leg. Those of you that want to vary it, then you put mind in left hand, right lower leg, and you reach with that right arm. It matches the reach of your lengthened leg. And if you let your belly go, you're going to be loosey-goosey. We're all going to have wobbles. We're going to have little shakes here and there, little wobbles. It happens. We fall out of postures. It happens. All right, everybody. If you're ready to come out of it, come on out of it. Find that loosey-goosiness, without letting the belly go. Maybe you're going to sit back into child's pose for a couple of breaths. Yeah? All right, friends. I want to give you an option. We haven't come up into either of our dogs yet. If you want to come up into either half dog, the hips are over the knees, you reach forward, I suggest you put your elbows down and then drop so your head matches the line of your back. Those of you that can do full dog, you tuck your toes under, maybe come through plank and then pike the hips. And then you begin to gently press the heels down. Wherever you are, you're pulling your elbows, your elbows in, but you're also pulling your shoulders down away from your ears. And if you want to come up, go ahead and come on up, and we'll meet you on the feet in just a sec. If you're in your full dog, if you want to walk through the feet and the knees, you can walk through feet and knees. Sometimes that feels so yummy. All right, everybody. Now, you can take a few breaths there if you want. If you're ready to come on up, you're simply either going to walk toward the hands or the hands are going to walk toward the feet. You can take however many steps you need to get there. And then you want to be very luxurious with your timing as you're coming up. You want to push that pelvis forward when you can, and that shoulder girdle is going to pull back, and it's all going to align together. And once you get up there, that head just finds some softness on top of that. Softness. How about that? Softness and luxuriousness and nutritious movement. Oh my, what a gift. All right, everybody. So I'm going to bring us through an easy, slow, standing flow. This is the one we're going to use our chair back for. But before we get that set up, I do want to bring us through just a little bit more stabilizing work on our feet. We've been on the floor for a while. So let's orient ourselves to being vertical and a little balance work, right? We're going to come into breath before we do that. So give yourself a walk into your feet. So, I use the idea of little gooiness on the floor. I think I even said loosey-goosiness. Yes. However, we want to find the happy medium between finding that looseness, that softness, and the stability. And that's where the engagement of that core comes in, right? That allows us to move softer and to still be protected. Again, it's a Goldilocks thing. Yeah. All right, everybody. Plant those feet down there. Now, if you feel like you need a chair back to reach out to for stability, have your chair back there handy. Doesn't matter what side you have it on. Just have it handy. Maybe it will matter. I would actually have it directly to the side. We're going to do some work to the diagonal and to the front. So if you're going to if you need your chair back, have it over here on your left side to start. Yeah. All right, everybody, put your hands on your hips. We're going to shift on over here to this left leg. Now find your length from foot out your head top. We're not going to sink into this hip, right? Keep it under the body. And we're going to tuck that right foot right inside. Find your length. Find that softness through your neck. Now hands are coming to the hips so we can feel the stabilization of the pelvis. Take an inhale. Exhale, gently rotate the right knee open without turning the hips there. So where that knee stops, everything stops. Then we come back to the center. So it's basically a low tree pose. Yeah. Take an exhale, open. Inhale, come back to the center. Now, once you get a sense of that stable pelvis, if you want to open your arms, open your arms. Exhale, open. Inhale, center. Your toes can be on the floor or they can be off the floor a little bit. Exhale, open. Inhale, center. Now, we're going to take it open. We're going to stay there. Stay here. Find that stability. Now, we don't want to expect ourselves to be statue rigid. We don't want that, actually. Your body's going to have some movability in it. Yeah? All right, everybody. From here, extend that leg. We're going to pull it right back into where it was. Extend that leg. Stay lifted on that left leg. Pull right back in. It's just like you're taking a breath. Extend that leg. Reach up through that head top. Pull right back in. Now we're going to extend and we're going to keep it out there. Keep it out there. Now let's come into a bit of a sweep. We're going to sweep it forward. You can add arms if you want. And then we're going to take it open, but not so far that we turn the pelvis. Yeah. And bring it forward. And take it open. Bring it forward. I know you're feeling a little work on your left leg. Yeah. Bring it open. We're just going to take one more. Come on forward. Now bring it open. Now we're going to fold it right back in. Now you can fold it in low, or you can fold it in a little higher. Where is that comfortable for you? Just take a couple of breaths. Do you want to lift the arms? Do you want to bring your hands to your hips? Find your ease. Find your ease. And we're going to come right back down, leg to parallel. Take an easy shift, easy walk, side to side. If you need to move yourself or move your chair to the other side, let's take a nourishing breath before we start the second side. So come on into an inhale, easy reach. Oh, exhale, come down through center. Do that again, everybody. Inhale, easy reach. Exhale, come on down. Find your body shifting to the right. Let's start with hands on hips. We're going to tuck that left foot inside. Now keep in mind, we want to find that long vertical line. That includes the hip. We don't want to dip off into that hip. Keep that pelvis in its neutral position. Toes are either on the floor or they're off the floor. Is your jaw soft? Are your shoulders dropping? Yeah. Take an inhale. Are your toes soft? Exhale, easy opening. Don't turn that pelvis. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, easy opening. Inhale, back to the center. You can keep hands on hips or you can open them. Exhale, come on, open. Back to the center. Now we're going to bring it open and stay. Come on, open and stay. And we're going to find an extension. It's just a hinge from the knee. We're going to fold it right back in. Hinge from the knee. Fold it right back in. Hinge from the knee. Fold it right back in. We're going to hinge and we're going to stay there. So come into that extension. Come into that extension. How about a sweep to the front? Arms can come with you if you want. And we're going to open it right back out. It's just like a breath. If you need to take a break, take a break. It's not about struggling through movement to stay in it, right? Wisdom is to feel and to pay attention to when you need to take that break. So important, everybody. Open out. I'm going to take one more. I've been talking and not paying attention to how many we're doing here. We're going to go ahead and stay open. Now fold back in. Maybe you fold back into the ankle. Maybe you fold in higher. Where can you find that ease in your movement? Can you change the arms without tightening up? Yeah. All right, everybody. And we fall out of stuff all the time. Come back down. I was in a class one time, and this was years ago, and the instructor says, just fall with awareness. So if you're going to fall out of a movement, an asana, fall with awareness. Yeah? All right, everybody, we're going to take another nourishing breath, and we're going to do a little bit of a switch up again. So inhale, take your length. Exhale. You know, I think the moment's calling for a side stretch. Inhale, come on up. Now, if you can take the left wrist with your right hand, root that left foot, and let's give an easy side bend. If this is uncomfortable for shoulders, drop that right arm down to the leg. You can drop the left arm as well. Inhale, come back up. We're going to give it a switch up, left hand to right wrist. And root that right foot as you come on over. Try not to pull your shoulder up as you're giving that easy pull on the arm. Let's take one more of those each side. Inhale up through center. Maybe you need to drop both arms. Otherwise, give it a switch up. Maybe your arms are down if that's better for your shoulder girdle. Yeah. Inhale, come up. You're either going to do that wrist switch or those arms are low. And come on into that side bend. All right, everybody, come back up through center. Find your length through your head top. What's this combination we're going to do? Oh, yeah. So I'm going to turn to the side. I've got more room there. So this is where we're going to want something to anchor ourselves on. And if you don't have it, don't worry about it. You can anchor on your own leg. So you can watch me if you want. I'm going to do a demonstration. I'm going to do it quickly, and then I'm going to get us all in it. So I'm going to start mirroring you. We're going to take the weight onto this left leg. We're going to come into that low tuck of that right foot. The knee's going to open. We're going to come back to center. Knee's going to open. We're going to come back to center. We're going to open, keep it there. Draw the foot up the leg, lower down. Draw the foot up the leg, lower down. Draw the foot up the leg. We're going to bend this supporting knee. We're going to reach back into our warrior one. Now you can reach forward or you can reach for that anchor, right? Your heel's going to anchor down. Now, those of you that need more stability, you're going to want to open that front foot a little bit. You're going to want to widen your base, right? We're going to take a lengthening with an inhale. We're going to take an exhale. We're going to do that one more time. A lengthening with an inhale. And then this next one, we're going to come down. We're going to find either the anchor of the chair back or our leg. We're going to lengthen the front leg. We're going to pull the hip of the front leg back, and we're going to come into a bit of a forward fold. Now, this is totally unique to your body. You might not be, some people are going to be tabletopping the forward fold. Some of you are not. Some of you might be right up here. If this is not good for your back, you're going to be right here. Where is it going to be more stabilizing for you? Then we're going to be bending into that knee again. Coming back up, standing up, taking a moment of balance, then we're going to switch sides, right? I'm not going to keep us here very long because we're going to need to come back down to finish class to the floor. All right, everybody. Find your position. So I'm going to be stepping, I'm mirroring you. I'm going to be stepping with the right leg back, right? So if you want to start with hands on hips, start with hands on hips. Shift on over here to this left leg. Otherwise, your arms are open to the side. Tuck your right foot inside that left foot. Take an inhale. Exhale, open that right knee without turning the pelvis. Inhale, back to the center. Feel your length through your head top. Exhale, open that knee. Inhale, back to center. This next time we open, we're going to keep it there. Exhale, open. Now we're going to draw the foot up the leg. If you want, arms can match. Foot draws up, maybe arms come up with it, and then everything lowers back down. You can let the foot trail on the leg. Do that again. Come on up. If you need to have your hands on your chair back, your hands are on your chair back or your table or whatever it is you're using for your anchor. Now the next time we draw up, we're going to keep it there. Draw up. Where can you take it easily without struggling? Now we're going to reach it back. Bend your left knee, reach that right leg back. Maybe you're reaching for your chair back or your anchor, or maybe the arms are just extended. If you need more stability, open your front foot a little bit to the side. Not much, maybe an inch. Yeah? Now we're all going to take our left thumb, put it in the crease of this left hip and push that hip back a little bit. That's going to anchor and square your pelvis off. Now push into your front foot. Inhale, come up, find your length. Exhale, come down. Maybe you're not adding arms. Where's it good for you? Inhale, come up, push into that front foot, particularly the heel. Now exhale down. Now, if you can reach your chair back, reach your chair back. Maybe you're going for leg. Find where you can lengthen your front leg without bringing that hip forward. Try and keep that pelvis square. Now, be sensitive to where it's safe for your back to drop your body to. Even though we have an anchor here, that doesn't mean that we let our core go, right? So we're maintaining that engagement. We don't want to lift the head and look forward. We want the head to match the line of the back. Now, if you don't have something to anchor on, you might have your hands on your front leg This can be done with hands on blocks on either side of your foot. That might be a little less stabilizing for some of you. For those of you with more flexibility, that's an option. If you want to go that low, if your blocks are in reach, fingertips to the floor are always an option as well. But what happens is we don't want to risk rounding the spine. And when we try and go too low, that happens, right? You want to keep that length of the back. So if you can do that and keep your length, hey, there you are, right? All right, everybody, maybe take one more breath. Now we're going to pull that belly up, start pulling the body up, start bending into that front leg when you can. If you want to reach your arms forward, do. Let's do one more lengthening from here. Inhale, lengthen. And then we're going to exhale, reach and bend. Now push into your front heel, roll through your back foot. See if you can find a balance. Toes either on the floor, off the floor. Watch that you're not spilling forward. And let's go ahead and close. And if you want to do that easy walk, do that easy walk through your feet, everybody. Now, typically I would switch sides, but don't need to because I'm not going to be turning my back to you. So I'm going to stay on this side. We're going to bring that all into the other side. So hands are either on hips or arms are open to the side. Easy shoulders either way. Shift on over to that right foot. Tuck that left foot inside. Toes are either on or a little off the floor. Take your in-breath. And with your out-breath, give an easy opening of the knee without turning the pelvis. Inhale, center. How's the back of your neck? Exhale, open. Now we're going to inhale, center. This time as we exhale, open, we keep it there. Exhale, open. Now let's draw up that leg. Maybe arms come with us. And everything gently lowers down with control. Again, luxuriousness of time, of breath, of movement. Come on down. Now we're going to draw it up and stay there. Stay here. And then we're going to take that easy bend in the front knee. Reach that leg back. Find your anchor with your heel coming down. There's your anchor. Rib cage over the hips. If you need to open your front foot a bit, you're going to open your front foot a bit, right? And let's take this right thumb, anchor it in that hip. Now gently pull back and down a bit, and then reach forward again. Now push into that front heel. Inhale, come up, and exhale down. Now those of you that can go deeper, you can step back deeper. Just watch that your front knee is over your heel. Inhale, come up. Exhale down. Now maybe you're going to find the chair, your leg. Maybe you've got yoga blocks you're going to set up to. Come on over. Lengthen this front leg. So again, you are welcome to come down to the floor or come down to yoga blocks. But if you're going to do that, watch that you don't lose your length. It's not about how low you can go and get your nose on your knee or shin. That's not it. That's kind of fun, but you know, that's not the objective, right? Keep your length. Keep your length. So if you're down on the floor, you still have length. The head is still matching the line of the back. The pelvis is still squared off. Yeah? All right, everybody. We're going to take maybe one more breath right here. Where does it feel good for you? Yeah? And as you're ready, we're going to start bending into that front knee. We're going to start bringing the body up. If you need your chair back, it's there. Maybe your hands are going to stair step to the leg. Let's take one more lengthening through this front leg. Inhale, lengthen. Now as we exhale and come down and reach forward, we're going to roll through that back foot. Push into your front heel. Find your balance. Reach through your head top. Maybe that back foot is on the floor. Maybe you've got a little air. We're still pulling back through the core. And come on in, everybody. Give that easy walk through your feet. I'm not going to bring you down to the floor in a choreographed combination. You're going to find a way that you can get down there nice and safe for yourself. Once you get down there, we're getting a little low on time. So once you get down there, you're going to ease your way into a child's pose. Yeah. So sometimes it's nice if you've got that chair, use that chair seat. Give yourself a little stair stepping down if that's what feels good to you. And then once you get there, you can come into your child's pose from there. So what is that for you? Some of you in child's pose like to have a cushion between calves and hamstrings and another cushion for your belly. If that's what you want, go ahead. If you want to create a shelf for your head, you can put your elbows down, rest your forehead in your hands. That can be a lovely supported child's pose. Some of you can come into an extended child's pose. You're going to open those knees a little bit. You're going to crawl that body forward, flexing from the hips, and find your support here. Maybe your forehead goes on your hands. Find length in your back. Some of you like to take a gentle rock, slow rock, side to side. Wherever you are, come into that place of softness with your breath. And some of you like to take a crawl over to one side. So if I'm still mirroring you, if I crawl to the right, I'm going to reach with my left arm. I'm going to keep that left hip anchored, and then maybe my right hand rests on this left arm, and that's a shelf for my forehead. If that feels good, give that a try. Let's not forget about the ease in our breath. And if you've been in that side reach for a while, you can crawl on over to the other side. If you're not doing the reach and you've been in child's pose an adequate amount of time for you, you can make your way down onto your back. We'll join you there in a sec. We'll take a few moments resting on our back, and then we'll close it all out for the day. How do you find the most nourishing close of the movement? And if you've reached to the side and you feel like you've been there long enough, go ahead, make your way back to the center. You can stay there if you'd like to stay. Once you come back to the center, walk yourself back up. And then you're going to ease yourself on down to your back. We've got about a minute or so. So we're going to come on down, everybody. So whatever that is for you, maybe you want a cushion for the back of the head. Maybe you want a cushion for the backs of your legs. That's a supported Shavasana, or your calves can go up on a chair seat, right? A little bend to the knees takes some of that pressure off of the lumbar spine. If you need to actually put your feet flat on the floor, do. Maybe you're going to widen them a little wider than hips, and you're going to let those knees fall in toward the center. Yeah. If you feel like you want a little rotation, you're welcome to bring one knee up and let it gently come across the body. If you're going to do that, you want to keep both shoulders on the floor, right? Keep that shoulder girdle squared up. This is a nice movement to open the sacroiliac joints, so the SI joints, as is knees falling into the center with feet on the floor. And if you're in that rotation, ease yourself out of it and come on into that other side. Maybe you're just resting with breath. I'm going to bring myself out of the rotation. You can rest quietly. If you want to begin an exploration into slow movement, again, that idea of gooey movement. I used the image earlier of watching animals when they're rolling on the floor. They know how to explore movement. Yeah, what feels good to your body, everybody? Again, you can stay as long as you'd like. I'm going to come on up. And I want to say thank you for participating in class today. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Say namaste, everybody, and I'll see you next time.